Hey everyone, Stee-da-man here with another Gran Turismo Sport gameplay video. As you can see, we're just going to hop straight into the first race. I've got 3 races lined up for you, so we'll hop straight into the first one. We're going for the daily race, C1 make race with the Mazda Roadster Touring Car. And so what we're going to try and do, you can see I've started from the back, and we're going to try and see how many overtakes we can make and possibly go for a first place finish. So I've got this race and the next one. We'll start from the back, no qualifying time, and see what we can do. So you can already see from the beginning of this race, absolute madness. As you can see here as well, goodness sake, the Spaniard going completely wide and then doing the same again on this corner, and we find ourselves pretty much beside the Irish driver here, David Riley. We managed to go for the overtake without cutting that corner. That's a big mistake in this track, is that one corner. So we skipped towards the end of lap 2 as our Spanish driver ahead of us serves this penalty, so we managed to go for the overtake, jump into second place. So it's not looking too bad. We've managed to get through all the carnage, but then skipping forward towards the end of lap 6, we're right behind the Italian driver here that's in first. And we go for right here an absolutely mad overtake, big dive bomb there. But what was happening is every move I went to make, even on this long straight I'm coming up to here, he would flick right in front of me and slow my car right down, which was a bit cheeky. So I decided I was going to be cheeky right back to him. So skipping towards the end of lap 7 here, a big Stee-da-man mistake. I always do this. I forget to defend my corner. I don't notice them in the radar. I stop paying attention. So I give away 2 spaces, and I'm now in third. I settle in here behind the Spanish driver here. So not great. In first for a couple laps, and then here towards the end of the final lap, I make another big dive bomb. Great corner for outbraking people. The Italian goes slightly wide, skids a bit, but here I just get pushed slightly from behind, completely lose control. Absolutely bin it into the grass here, and you'll see on the radar I give the space up to our second Spaniard here. So I end up 4th, which I was a bit unhappy about. Wasn't great. I'd done so well. I was in first for about a lap, 2 laps, but then ended up giving up all these spaces because of some fatal error. So I wasn't very happy. But as always, hop back in. We'll try again. But I just wanted to show you this quick clip from the warm-up. Just trying to start, and I just can't quite. I keep stopping and stopping again. Stop here, and then looking behind us, we see this blue car here. Managed to get in front of him. Mayday Mohican. We actually raced Mayday about 2 videos ago in the GT4 race. We were both in Lancers, so it's good to see him again back on the ground as we start our second race. So same plan. Start from the back. How many overtakes can I get? We'll try our hardest to finish first. So a mistake you'll notice from the beginning of here, I put the traction control all the way down, and unlike the first race where my traction control was up and I floored it and I was fine, I floored it here and I spun the wheels. Didn't get as good a start as I would have liked, but not too much time lost. I'm catching up with this convoy of Spaniards. Managed to get a space there. We come into 11th and we're sitting behind Nikita here, just catching up to try and slow down so we can take the line better through this corner. We don't want to be making contact. The Italian driver there getting completely destroyed, sent off of the track. We're now in the middle of everything, coming around into the final little chicane before the finish line. So absolute carnage. Managed to just avoid getting killed right there, which wouldn't have been great, but our momentum gets completely destroyed, and our Italian driver that got thrown out of the race earlier manages to come back and settle in 8th, so good for him. But just skipping forward to towards the end of lap 4, we see he's now got a penalty he's about to serve, so it looks like we're going to be able to take this, and another penalty just ahead, clearly for cutting the corner. So we managed to take 2 spaces and head up into 7th place. So not looking too bad. Still a couple of laps to go. We skip forward to the end of lap 6 here. A little bit of carnage. You see Mayday ahead, just battling really hard, and that momentum just changes, and I make a little bit of an error and decide to skid around him and kiss him on the cheek. So not great for me, but I managed to pass him, and we're just trying to get this space from our Spanish driver to our left. So not too bad. We're in 6th. We just need to make a couple more overtakes and we'll be in pole position. So I'm pretty confident I can do this at this point in time. Try and go for this dive bomb. Just managed to do it, but I overkilled it. Completely took out the 2 Spaniards there. But I settle in 4th. Getting pushed wide a bit by our Spaniard here. But it makes me come back onto the track with a little bit more force than I wanted to. I completely take him out. Come back onto the track and make these guys swerve. And their battle just ends up leading them completely off track. So good for me. And coming into the final lap here, coming into the finish line, I finish comfortably in 4th. So taking a look at our grid, we have Mayday right behind us, our driver from earlier, and the driver I skidded into on the way past, and the driver that came out behind me in the warm-up, and our other UK driver there finishing in 2nd, and we'll see him in the next race as well. So before jumping into my 3rd and final race here, I wanted to set a qualifying time because there was so much carnage to try and get through. I just wanted to set a qualifying time and see if I could finish in 1st to get a comfortable win. But my qualifying session was just absolutely plagued with stuff like this, and this, and this, and this, until finally I managed, you can see on the time on the right there, I managed to finish with a 44.469 qualifying time, so I was happy enough with that. I wanted to try for a 44 second, but that is more than enough to get us up the pack and have a chance at winning. So just before starting the race, I wanted to send some love to Mayday Mohican. So nice to see you again, have a good race. Good to see him on the ground in our 2nd race here again. So starting this next race, I was fairly confident, qualified 3rd, so I knew at best it would only be a case of making 2 overtakes and then just defending my position, or at worst I would maybe lose positions, have to catch back up again. But either way, I've got more of a chance if I don't have to fight through that initial carnage that you saw in the first 2 races. So 3rd and final attempt. Let's hope we finish 1st. That was my goal anyways. But you can see from the beginning here, not a great start. I decided to go wide for some reason. Classic Stee-da-man. We give away 2 spaces straight away to our Spanish driver there and Mayday again, so not great, and down to 6th. So straight away lost 3 spaces just from a bad start. Mistake from me, I took that corner too wide. But then Mayday just getting completely pushed off the track by our driver here, then retaliates straight away. Maybe it was deliberate, maybe it wasn't, but fairly deserved. German driver there pushing his way past, and we come to the end of lap 1 in 6th place, but looking like we might be able to overtake our Spaniard here, who had a terrible exit of that final corner. So just behind our Ukrainian driver here, we managed to just get around the corner, but we're on the outside for the next corner, so not great. Try and slot into this little gap that we see in our radar just to get that better line through this little S bend. So trying to get another dive bomb done here. It works. It wasn't quite a dive bomb, but just managed to outbrake our driver there. We're now in between 2 drivers, but we managed to just pull ahead, and you can see one of those drivers just gets completely wiped out, and Mayday takes his place behind the German driver that is directly behind us. So you can see, and we have a fair bit of catching up to do to 1st and 2nd, but we can notice straight away that 1st has a penalty, so we have a chance, we can do it. We've got just under 5 laps left to go. We can get our heads down and catch them up. So you can see he's about to serve his penalty now on the straight towards the finish line. So long as we can get these corners down as well as we can do them, we can catch right up. So you can see we've already caught up before he paid his penalty here on the line. So we have a good chance of catching them up. We're about 2 seconds ahead of Mayday, who's behind us now. And we're pretty much coming up to the back of our UK drivers here. Proper battle of the Brits going on here. So we'll just have to get our head down, drive the best we can, and hopefully prove that we've been drinking our tea better than the other UK drivers, because you know tea gives you at least 50 brake horsepower extra. So coming towards the end of lap 4 here, you can see that we've now caught up to within a second of, well, second place. So we have that chance. We have 4 laps actually, I'm doing the math wrong in my head. We've got 4 laps left to go, and we're just slowly but definitely catching up with first and second. So just got to get that speed down this straight. You can take this curb as tightly as you can. There's less of a need to lift off around this right hander here, and then you brake as late as you can, take it as wide as you can. You can cut through this corner with a lot more speed than a lot of the other drivers are doing. So coming into the end of lap 5 now, completely different. We're within a quarter of a second, actually pretty much 0.1 of a second behind second place here. They've changed positions. We're now fighting Neil here. We'll see if we can get this move going. So we've already gone for it once, we'll try again. One of the mistakes I kept making on this race was going to the outside here to try and overtake, but we realised I can't do that here to Neil. So I slowed down, slot in behind him, and try and get a better line through that corner. So we decided to take this corner wide, and you can see just how much of a boost that gives us in comparison to them, who they took it quite tight through that. They were battling at the same time. We took it wide, got much better speed out of that corner, and you can see Super right here getting another penalty. So if he can slow down Neil 24 and then we can overtake the two of them, that would be fantastic. So about a lap and a half left to go. We're catching right up with first. We're right behind Neil here, trying to keep that line through this S bend, just trying to get as much speed down here, braking just after that white line on the left. We'll try and take it wide again, so you can see it's worked another time. Try and take it a little bit tighter this time, just to catch up as much as we can before first place serves their penalty here. We managed to go here for the overtake, and we start our final lap in second. So things are looking up. So long as I can make one final overtaking maneuver, I'll be able to do this. So me and Neil both making the same mistake there. We both took that corner a little bit wider than we should have. And we come into this S bend a little bit further apart than I would have liked. But he makes this mistake. We end up catching right back up with him. A little bit of contact. I think about this move on the right, decide to go wide, push the other driver wide slightly. I go for the cut back on Neil here, and it works beautifully. Managed to get into the final little corner here before the final straight, and we come into the final straight in first, and I finally get that win I tried so many times for. Ended up needing that qualifying lap to help me with it, but really fun to try to get all those overtakes. So that's the end of our video, the final race. If you like these videos, if you like the Gran Turismo Sport gameplay, please like and subscribe to the channel. And we get a nice little congratulations here, which is lovely to get. So I will see you all next time.